Okay.
Did I just put a visual out there?
I know what that floater is.
Oh boy!
So
So when it comes to floaters, man, I'm like, ooh, spooky. Hey, earlier in
I had a guy.
Go ahead.
I had a guy, he lives in Arizona now, but we went to a lake, and, I went out in the water, and there wasn't anybody on the bank or anything. Well, he was up above me, and, you talking about that floater? When it went by my nose, I jumped out of that lake real quick, and I proceeded to tell him what I thought about him. So.
Woo, boy. Speaking of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen to this segue. What does evil smell and look like? I think you just described it, but, we earlier in the first hour, Alan, I asked you to give us your best guess of what a ghost is. Well, how about in this hour we discuss what is evil, because, a lot of people, especially if you talk about poltergeist people or demons, I suppose, there's evil. How would you describe evil?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Go into an elevator, go into a bus station, go into the subway, smell the people around you, they're evil. As far as I'm concerned, evil's in the people. And I'm being very serious with you. Look how many things happen that you have like the evil itself taking place. I don't know what it is, but I believe more evil's in the individual heart than any place else.
Yeah.
And that's the evil I think of.
Okay, so all right, so evil in the heart, then
yes,
something's in the heart. What is it? Is it molecules? Is it a spirit? Is it cold? Is it death? Is it death?
You'd have to get one of them professors to answer that question. That'd be a rough one. One of them big psychiatrists who knows what he's looked into that.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Let me tell you something real quick.
All right.
You know how I talk to a lot of ghost groups, and I do. This last Monday, I was down in Tazewell, Virginia, and there's a new group starting down there. There's only 2 or 3 people in it.
Okay.
But it's my wife's nephew.
Okay.
My wife's brother passed away, I think, around 14, 15 years ago. And his son, Rodney, has started this new group. Now, Rodney is 400 pounds. That's a pretty big boy.
Yeah, that big boy right there.
And he's a big one. But there's 3 graves in this family graveyard of his. And he wanted me to go with him and just observe and see if I can find anything or whatever. Well, I always take a tape recorder with me. And there's one baby grave in this graveyard. And she was 1 month old. And her name was Amanda Jane. Well, the girl that Rodney had with us, she's 31 years old. And very, very, this is the first time she's ever did anything like this, but it was like she was drawn to this one little bitty grave. Ooh. She just kept going back to the grave, just like something was pulling her there. Well, the best thing is at the end of the night, see, you don't know if you got anything unless you see it, hear it, or something of that sort with your own hearing.
Right.
But we placed a tape recorder on his daddy's grave, and then we placed a tape recorder on the baby's grave. Now, here is what we got. When I had that tape recorder on his daddy's grave, this girl was talking, her and Rodney, and I was 25 feet, 30 feet from them. But here is what it said. It's plain. It says, Amanda. It's just like a daddy hollering at a small child that's running around.
Wow.
But the name was definitely on the tape player.
Wow.
The next part is Rodney. He lost his daddy 14, 15 years ago. Your biggest desire, I know mine is, I would love to be able to talk to my daddy one more time and apologize for everything every bit of problems and trouble I ever caused that man. Because he was one heck of a man. And, I'd give anything to be able to hear his voice one more time. And you know exactly what I'm saying with someone that you loved in the past. You'd love to hear him one more time.
Just one more time.
But we went up and placed this tape recorder on the baby's grave. Rodney is sitting there. He's 7, 8 feet away from the tape recorder. I'm 7, 8 feet away, and the girl is too. And I'm asking, and I'm making a joke. Rodney has got a 5-gallon bucket that he's sitting on.
Right.
And the joke I'm making, I'm trying to get an EVP.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, listen, everything's going to be great here, but you know how much weight Rodney's got on, and we'll be fine unless he breaks the bucket.
Mm.
And about that time, a voice comes across the mic, says, Rodney.
Whoa.
And it does. Now, I played this for my wife last night because I had been gone all this week.
Yeah.
Now, this is my wife's brother. And when she heard the voice, she had no idea about getting this voice. And when she heard that voice, the very first thing she said is, that's my brother. That's Verlin.
Whoa.
Rodney said the same thing. And I'm going to tell you, you know, why we got that, I have no idea. But I'm glad we did, just for his sake alone. But with the words Amanda coming on that tape, then Rodney coming on that tape, he looked at me, and when I played this back for him 2 days later on Thursday, it was like a relief came over this boy. That his daddy cared enough to speak one more time.
Now, Alan, I've heard people say that, and this goes along with what you're saying, that people just beg and plead, if I could just talk to Granddaddy one more time, you know,
yes,
and grandmama or my auntie, you know, I've heard people say that the demons hear you when you're saying like that, and then they appear as a loved one to misguide you in this life. What do you think about that?
Well, that's just what we said a while ago. Everybody says demons, but I'm going to tell you what, Daniel, I would hate to think my daddy is a demon waiting on me.
Whoa.
And I would hate like him to think that his daddy is a demon waiting on him.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, well,
I would hate to see that. Your own parents, your mother, your daddy. You know, you would hate to think that they're a demon.
No.
We don't know what happens.
No.
That's the problem. We don't know what happens.
Not that they became demons, but that demons masqueraded
them to get to you.
Right, they masqueraded because they would have heard the voice. They could mimic the voice and the demeanor, and then present themselves as your loved one. I'm not saying that your loved ones became demons at all, and I've never heard any people say that. But I'm saying that the demons could masquerade as your loved one and then misguide you. Say, for instance, hey, you know, I want you to go take that car on that hilly, curvy, rainy road because I love you, son. And then, boom, you're off the cliff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what. If one's telling me to go off the road on that rainy road, I'm not going to listen to him for one thing. I ain't going. If I think he's that strong, he can just forget it.
All right, let me.
I've did a lot of stuff just like this, just looking, and this week was a really good eye opener for me. I enjoyed that so much, just seeing their faces. My wife was sit right here, and when she heard that voice, you know, and this woman, believe me, she has no imagination. She's got to be on anything, everything, anywhere, anyhow.
Okay.
And seeing her face is what really did it to me.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you something. Here it is in a live chat, which is it's a pop-up thing that a lot of listeners and viewers are watching. They're talking to each other. One of the comments in there is that you're not supposed. I guess that's from the Holy Writ that you're not supposed to talk to the dead. But if somebody is talking to you, how do you know that they're dead anyway? How could they be talking to them?
There you go.
You know,
you don't know. It could be a powerful mind over matter thing. I have no idea.
The Holy Writ says that the things that are not seen are more real than the things that are. So I'm thinking there's a parallel sort of universe that's all around us, and